Hello and welcome, beautiful souls. Happy Saturday to you all. I hope your weekend is starting off great. Um, Hope it's restful and joyful as always. Today I'm going to be doing one of my ancestral pattern videos. So this is going to be specifically for addressing ancestral patterns. This reading, if you're drawn to it, likely has a message for you. As always, do keep in mind these are general readings, so the message may or may not resonate for you at this time. I'll be using the Wisdom Keepers Oracle cards here. Very beautiful cards. One of my favorite decks. Let's see what we have from Spirit regarding ancestral patterns. So this should help reveal to you essentially work that needs to be done for the spiritual path. All right, lots of good feelings here. Let's see here. What is the ancestral patterns that need to be revealed for the viewer today? Lots of shuffling. Something is calling me to this card here. It's a few times I had seen it, and something just told me to take it. So here we are. Here we go. So we have versatility number 16 here. Hope you guys can see that. Very beautiful artwork on these cards. One of my favorite decks. Okay, I'll be reading out of the book for this, so just a heads up, these cards have pretty lengthy, as you can see, 2 pages here. Let me know, I can't seem to speak lately, let me know if you'd like me to read the wisdom story. That's the longer portion. The gift to you is essentially what the actual message this card holds for you is. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into versatility. Go ahead and hold this card up so you guys can see it. The gift of being versatile is the ability to pick up any skill that is needed and use it for a single aim, for the betterment of humanity and the service of the whole. So the shadow aspect of this card is indifference, interestingly enough. So my gift to you, when I look into your eyes, I see a great potential for talent and versatility. I am here to remind you that although talent requires persistent effort, everything gets easier when you take a stand for your true passion. Trust in your enthusiasm, risk being different, learn to let people down. I promise you, finding time to do what you love will get easier. Finding your people will get easier. Asking for help will get easier. Sharing your fears will get easier. Even hard work will get easier because everything you do will be fueled with love. Eventually, your knowledge and skills will become such a deep part of you that you'll be playing and improvising with life itself. Service and sustainability will just naturally happen. You are more ready than you know. Wow, that is beautiful. So here are some questions for contemplation. Where have you given up on yourself and the world? What passions are you sitting on? Where are you telling yourself that you're not ready? What are you waiting for? So these are some pretty important questions to ask ourselves. Wow, this card is very beautiful. So there seems to be a message here about, I know this is about versatility, but this also is in alignment for me with authenticity, what feels authentic to you. So on the spiritual path, your soul will always naturally call you towards the things that you want to do, that your expression, your highest expression, the things that make you feel good. Your soul is constantly trying to draw you to those things. So in what places are you ignoring this call? Are there certain things that you're drawn to that you've kind of just swept under the rug because you felt that maybe they weren't practical or something along those lines? So that is a very important key aspect to look into your life at this time. This is likely an ancestral pattern that was ingrained into you. Of course, most of the time this isn't intentional. I mean, a lot of the times it's unintentional by through our upbringing. But there may have been a pattern of teaching people to do what needs to be done, essentially doing the things that you should do. What is in alignment with society, what is in alignment with the family tree. Like, for example, if your parents were like both doctors, you were expected to become a doctor, even though you felt very creative and you wanted to make art for a living, or something along those lines, right? Things that are ingrained into us that almost, in a sense, kind of beat out the our self-expression. So it's about self-expression and looking at that and then claiming it and moving forward, because when you move through life with the desire to do things that you love begins to pour into your life. So this is a form of abundance. So I'm going to pull some spirit animal oracle cards regarding this message, and then we'll get into the tarot. Okay, let's see what we have here. Spirit. Something's telling me to take these cards, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So we have here, these here. I have a bit of a small table. I'm hoping to upgrade this soon. So the first card that I saw that came out here is Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. We've been seeing a lot of Vulture Spirit lately. So we have Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted. Then we have Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. And we have Owl Spirit, you see clearly now. And followed by Wasp Spirit, sometimes life stings. So this is telling me a very specific message here. There may have been endeavors in the past that have left you feeling like you've just wasted your time. And you've likely been living a life now based off of those failures, those experiences. Remember, failures are simply learning experiences for us. They don't define us. They're just an experience that help us grow and learn. And I feel like some of you may be holding these things, you might be holding yourself too accountable for these things, almost like beating yourself up for them. And you're being called to look at this. Time for a deep dive with Swan Spirit. It's time for you to do inner work. It's time for you to look deep and really start taking a look at where these belief systems are coming from. Why do you believe that you're not worthy of certain things? Why do you believe if you do the thing that you love, you're not going to make a living? Like, for example, I know painters sometimes get a bad rap for not being able to make money, but there's various forms that an artist can make money nowadays. We don't live in the same era that we used to. We live in an internet-based world now, at least within the developed countries. And so that's a new venue, that's an unexplored venue that you can use now in order to propel yourself forward, to propel that. And that's just one example that I'm using, being a painter. But this is essentially the same concept, but for different forms. Everybody else has a different calling, and it's up to you to determine that. How do you find it? Oftentimes it's something that you enjoyed doing when you were younger. That isn't always the case. And you know what? One thing that I'd also like to mention is that if you look for different passions that you have and you try them out and you end up figuring out that wasn't your calling, that's one less thing that you know now that you don't want. And sometimes knowing what you don't want helps propel you forward towards the direction that you do want. And so that's kind of what life is about, is kind of just figuring yourself out. That's what life will always be about, is aligning yourself to your truth throughout the years to come. Now, once you do this deep dive, you're going to start seeing these patterns very clearly here with Owl Spirit. You'll see it clearly. There's going to be a revelation that comes to you, likely in meditation and sleep, however your intuition kind of speaks to you. For some people, it's different. Some people experience these epiphanies at different times. And with Wasp Spirit, it says life stings. Sometimes life stings. So this isn't going to be a truth that you'll feel good about. Because they say that the truth hurts sometimes, right? So this is a truth that will likely sting a little bit, but you know what? It's actually going to help you get into a very, very beautiful place where you can actually start living the life of your dreams, living a life that you deserve. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the tarot now. We'll be using the Celtic cross spread here to see what this, how this ancestral pattern will work out. Because it looks like you'll be moving into this place where you're going to start seeing it. There just needs to be the willingness and the intention set that you see this pattern, and eventually it will reveal itself to you. Yeah, for me, the Nine of Wands that wanted to come out here is about baggage. So let's see here. What is the current circumstance? Okay. So we have the Hierophant here. So with the Hierophant here, some of you may have been seeking out some sort of guidance, some sort of counseling, or this could be a call for that. But this could also be you getting more aligned with your spiritual truth. You could have a certain leader that you follow, a certain practice that you follow, and it seems like you've likely been stepping into this place for comfort in order for you to explore yourself, explore the divine. Because the Hierophant also does speak of commitment. So some of you may be entering a marriage or are in a committed relationship, or your relationship with someone may be leveling up, so to speak. So what do we have here in the recent past? I'm seeing this more as a form of enlightenment, however. In the recent past, we have the Five of Swords. So this is very ego-based energy here. Some of you, this could be energy that is yours, or it could be of another person. Do keep in mind that energies do go vice versa, and this is a general reading, so the message, the timeline here may or may not resonate for you at this time. This could simply be future events for some of you. So with the Five of Swords here, this is a battle of the ego. It seems to me that there were times in the past where you either experienced manipulation, or you may have, in a sense, even allowed your ego to take over and allowed you to do, in a sense, some hurtful things towards people. Alluding to my story, there are times when I would believe that I was, in a sense, perfect, that I was incapable of doing such things. But when I really, really looked at my patterns and looked at the kind of behaviors that I had, I noticed that I was capable of doing these destructive things. And interestingly enough, the Hierophant with the Five of Swords is a very manipulative energy as well. This could be using spiritual knowledge or using a place of authority in order to manipulate others. That's not a very nice energy to have. However, this was in the recent past, so this could have been someone that you had an ending with, likely. The Ten of Swords here, very painful. Sometimes life stings, and you're starting to see things clearly for what they are now. You're being called to look at this pattern right now. So what is the obstacle here? Yeah. With the Hermit here, there seems to be, the obstacle the obstacle here, this card is telling me, essentially, that there seems to be a need to go within and a lack of desire to do so. Especially with the time for a deep dive and you see clearly now, this is what you're being called to do. You need to take time to yourself and look in the mirror. This card, in particular, the Mystic Mondays deck, this is a person looking at themselves in the mirror, introspecting, looking at their behaviors, looking at their patterns. How did I contribute to these situations? If you put yourself into situations, whether they be familial, friendship, or romantic relationships, where people took advantage of you, what was your part in that? How did you contribute to this? Because by staying in these, what we're essentially saying is, I deserve this, and it's okay for me to surround myself with people like this. Which is not true, of course, because we all deserve love. We all deserve respect. So you're being called to look inside right now. In order to get these insights required, you need to spend some time alone. If you've been distracting yourself a lot in order to avoid these subjects, it's important for you to look at this. The Five of Cups wanted to come out a couple times as well here. I was like trying to stuff it back into the deck, essentially. And I'm getting the sense here, there may have been some pain, regret, or loss in the past that hasn't been looked at or processed yet. You've kind of, in a sense, even been like stuffing it down. So let's see here. What's in the subconscious for the viewer? So just as a heads up, if you guys are noticing a lot of like editing, I mentioned this a couple of times before. I live near the airport, and the planes are just constantly going back and forth. So that's why that is. Anyway, in the subconscious realm, we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is about your comfort zone. So you're feeling very comfortable right now wherever you are. Emotionally speaking, the Ten of Pentacles for me is a comfort zone. It's a place of tradition, a place where you're familiar. It's a sense of familiarity. So maybe some of you are afraid to break away from certain things because of the comfort that they bring, because this is something that I've always done, so I know how it'll end. And so it's about asking yourself about how to take this risk. How to take this risk, the Fool. Isn't that crazy? I was just about to say before this that for the obstacle earlier, the Fool did want to come out. So this is about taking a leap of faith. It's about taking risks. You don't have to make impulsive, rash decisions. It's about making calculated risks. How can you do this? How can you set yourself up for success? Let's see what the how you're moving forward in the situation at the moment here is. Wow, these two cards came out in one of my most recent readings. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. So with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands, there's a moment of clarity, a moment of truth, and a moment of absolute inspiration coming up here. If you're not in this energy now, you will be soon. And this is going to be the energy that is required of you in order to get into figuring out this pattern. There is going to be that spark, that feeling. There's a feeling of just absolute clarity for me and inspiration that comes from that clarity. That's very potent energy, very masculine. You're going to feel it. You're going to see it. There's no escaping it. The moon is at the bottom of the deck too, so this is about fears likely. Something will be illuminated for you with the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Yeah, this card wanted to come up. It was below the moon and something told me about it. The Nine of Cups was below the moon. And this is about a wish being granted, a wish fulfillment. What is your emotional fulfillment? What is the thing that you've always wanted to do, but you've been neglecting up until this point? So what's the near future hold for the viewer here, Spirit? Okay, so we have a couple of cards here, but something's telling me just to take the top one here. So we have the Knight of Wands. This is inspiration and forward movement. This could be a person you encounter, but I'm not feeling that so much. I'm feeling more that this is you. So with the Knight of Wands, this is passion, this is drive, this is forward movement. This is you knowing what you want and going for it. That's very beautiful energy here. You're going to be feeling very inspired in the near future. What's a message directly from the universe to you? Wow. This is beautiful. Look at this. Ace of Pentacles and the Chariot. The universe is telling you that this opportunity is here for you, and you're moving towards it with conviction. This has been divinely orchestrated. The moment you open yourself up to love and the infinite possibilities, this is what awaits you. That Ace of Pentacles, this is the universe handing you this opportunity and you going for it. It's calling you to action. It's saying go for it. No, even the way the cards came out, the Chariot is already moving towards that Ace of Pentacles. Free flowing. And you can see there's a lot of joy in a sense. Like that person is really enjoying the ride, enjoying the journey. That triumphant energy. This Ace of Pentacles is here for you. The universe is handing it to you. You just need to claim it for yourself. You need to be inspired. Look at your fears and why. Why is it that you feel you don't deserve this, or why do you feel that you're not capable of doing the work that's necessary? You know, sometimes we just get caught up in our head about beliefs that we have surrounding ourselves and what we're capable of. So what is the weakness here, or something to basically keep an eye out for the viewer? Spirit, let's see what Spirit has here. Yeah, Princess of Pentacles here. So this is the Page of Pentacles. This is about needing to learn new things. You're going to need to take a much more grounded approach in life. You are going to need to learn new things, and there needs to be a willingness to do so. This is, interestingly enough, this isn't, I feel like some of you are almost in a sense set in your ways, and you're being called to learn new things, being called to open your mind up to different possibilities once again, because this is about taking inspired action, using that inspiration to teach yourself new things. Go online, see if you need a certification course, or if you need to go back to school, or something along those lines. And sometimes you don't even need to do that. There's, YouTube has a ton of information for free here from credible sources. So this is about taking the opportunity to actually learn these new things. Be methodical in your approach. Alrighty, so what are the hopes and fears for the viewer here? There are a lot of planes going by today. Hopes and fears, 10 of Wands. This is going to be too much work. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this. That's essentially what this card is telling me. You're afraid that you're not going to be able to deal with all of the priorities in your life. And this is also hoping that you can let go of this, let go of that burden. There may be something that you're carrying around that you're hoping, wishing that you could just let go of. It's likely this moment of clarity is going to help you through this. Sometimes life does take a little bit of hard work. Yeah, it's hard work. 7 of Pentacles for me is like waiting for the hard work to pay off. Let's see, what is the outcome for the viewer? Okay, outcome for the... Okay. Isn't that funny? You've got the Fool again. Looks like you're going for it. All right, isn't that awesome? Okay. I'm also seeing the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, so this is very lucrative. This is energy that you're stepping into, I feel. This is beautiful. Okay, so where does this... I'm curious. I want to clarify this Fool a little bit. I want to see where this Fool is going. Because I'm seeing expansiveness, joy, and happiness here. You're finally going for your dream. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so the Hanged Woman came out in reverse. This is the second time this has happened lately. Okay. So I'm getting some pretty interesting energy here. Okay, so this is really interesting. For me, for some of you, I'm getting a couple different messages here. For some of you may have been hung up in a third-party situation. For some of you, whoever that resonates for, that's who that message is for. Otherwise, disregard that. I'm seeing here a releasing of that, the baggage that comes around from third-party situations. So if you've been having issues in your love life, where you've had partners who weren't there for you, partners who disregarded your feelings, partners who just simply didn't appear to care about you in general, and you were the one putting in all the work, this is you letting go of that and moving towards a brand new beginning. A beginning where you know your worth, you know your value, and you're being able to let go of this. On the other hand, the way I'm seeing this for some others is that you're letting go of the party lifestyle almost. For some reason, I'm getting that. There's a sense of like partying here, and you're starting to like double down on the things that are more important in your life in order to build up the life of your dreams, something that you actually want. So if you're the kind of person who'd much rather go out on the weekends, maybe you might start to reconsider that. I'm going to get a little bit more information here on this Fool. Okay, so what does the Fool hold for us here? A little bit more on this, please. The outcome, Spirit. This could also simply be celebration and you experiencing that. So this is really interesting energy. Wow. Okay. So we got the Magician, the High Priestess, and the Moon. I'm definitely seeing this as you freeing yourself from dark secrets. There may have been some very buried, manipulative secrets from someone maybe around you, someone even in a commitment with you, and you might be seeing that now, and you're releasing that. I'm also seeing you being able to manifest things in a highly spiritual way. It's like you're going to start being able to draw from the spiritual into the material and create the life of your dreams. For some of you, you may have known that your partner was tricking you, manipulating you. If you're in a partnership, this could also be a friendship or a family relationship where this person was holding you down in a very particular way. And this is going to come to light. These secrets are being brought to light, and you're freeing yourself from them. It's like you're throwing them away. You're finally discarding all of that crap. That's what it is. It's crap. And finally freeing yourself from that. So let's see here. Maybe that's what that Knight of Wands is for some of you. Some of you may have been dealing with a player and you're letting go of that. And so being able to see that clearly, right? Versatility. So maybe the versatility card here is about this could be for a message in relationships about being versatile and understanding yourself and knowing what you're worth and being able to go for the things that you know are your truth, the things that you actually deserve, and no longer dealing with situations that are manipulative in nature. This involves job situations as well. So let's see what this, I'm curious about this Knight of Wands. Interesting. So this Knight of Wands is being clarified by the Four of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So I'm not necessarily getting that this is another person. This could simply be you. Four of Pentacles is about focusing on your stability. Two of Pentacles is about prioritizing things, being able to flow. There's a very flowy energy with the Two of Pentacles about being able to balance out your priorities. And with the Queen of Wands, it seems that you're asserting yourself now. You're becoming more confident. The Knight of Wands is forward movement. The Queen of Wands is somebody who's already gone through this in a sense and is very confident about her decisions. You've taken the action and you're moving to a place where you're moving into more confidence, creating a stable foundation for yourself and being able to really balance out your priorities whenever you need to. I'm going to get a little bit of advice around this Hermit being the obstacle to help you out through the situation. Some advice for the Hermit here. Wow. So this is really interesting. So this is turning into a somewhat different reading for me here. No, that's not actually true. Here we go. Okay. So I'm seeing here we have the Knight of Cups, the Empress, and the King of Wands. So I'm going to make sure the glare is not hitting these cards. Can't really tell if it is here. So with the King of... The sense that I'm getting here is the Hermit is calling you to look at what... Because the Knight of Cups follows his heart. What is it that you want in life? What is it that you dream of? What makes your heart sing? The Empress is about being practical in your approach. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. This is about prioritizing and loving yourself first, being able to see your value, your worth. And with the King of Wands, this is, see, the masculine energy helps protect the feminine energy. The feminine energy is very creative and flowy, very emotional, whereas the masculine energy is very direct, and it creates a protective structure for the feminine to thrive in. So this is about following your heart, practicing self-care, and balancing out your masculine traits. Being able to move into a more masculine state when you need to, of being able to be more direct, more forward, protect yourself, and stand your ground, which is absolutely beautiful. So the Hermit is calling you to look at this. It's asking you to follow your heart and look at what your heart wants. And by doing so, you're going to be able to have more control and direction in your life, which is absolutely beautiful. All right, so if our viewer here follows the advice, what, I was going to say, what's coming up for you? And I knew that card needed to come out because I know that's part of the message there. So if you follow this advice and you take on this shadow work, because that's really what you're being called to do. What awaits you is absolutely beautiful. We have the Judgment, the Strength, and the Ace of Cups. I'm going to make sure you guys see that. So the Judgment card is basically that you're going to start reflecting on your past uh, actions, and you're going to start seeing things very clearly. It's now you could see the value in these lessons. You can see what you did in the past that allowed situations to play out the way they did, and now the awareness that comes in. It's very similar to the Ace of Swords, but it's also very different because it's more spiritual in nature. The Judgment card is calling you to look at your past actions, and that's essentially what's going to happen when you start looking at this. And it's going to be like a revelation for you. You're going to have a freeing event that is going to put you into a place of absolute power and strength. With the Strength card here, you're going to realize how incredibly powerful you are as a divine being. You're going to realize that you hold more strength than you ever thought before, that you hold the capability to direct your life as you please. And with the Strength card here, it also speaks of compassion. So it's going to make you a more compassionate, loving human being. And you're going to be able to see people through that lens now. And with the Ace of Cups here, for those of you who have been looking for love, that potential will come to you after this work has been done. That person can finally come in that you were meant to be with. So that's absolutely beautiful. So remember, you remember that you're required to look inside. That's pretty much what the biggest message is here. It's you're required to look inside of yourself and really just try to understand yourself, try to figure out what your heart is telling you to do, what direction is it pulling you. And sometimes we do have to make head over heart decisions, but if something feels good, then usually that's the direction where we should be going towards. Now, if you love someone and they make you feel bad, then what's going on there is more of like a trauma bond. If this person consistently does this to you, even if it's a family member, sometimes our family members can be very destructive in our lives. They can be very karmic in nature, and they're here to teach us those difficult lessons. So for this ancestral pattern, this is quite an interesting reading here. I hope this brought value to you guys. Please do let me know if you like this particular format, this reading. I find for me, it's very important on my spiritual path to look at my ancestral patterns and see what it is that I need to break out of and clear out of in order to become a better version of myself, essentially. So I hope that you guys see the value in that as well. So please do let me know. I greatly appreciate a comment down below to let me know if this feels good to you, if you like this. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please do hit that like and subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Take care.